Welcome back. So today we're just kind of doing like a get ready with me / review on the Natasha Denona Love palette. If you guys didn't know, we are in a no-buy, but my mom graciously gifted this to us for Valentine's Day because she is a sweet angel and I love her dearly. So we have our thoughts on the palette, so we'll get into those, but now you can see it in action. So if you want to watch, then you know, stick around. I'm gonna use the pinks, she's gonna use the purples. We're gonna have a good old time. If you haven't seen it yet, here's what it looks like, or you probably know from the intro. But yeah, this is a really gorgeous palette. Am I blinding you? Yes. Jesus, stop. I really love this. This is kind of what I wanted Lila to be almost, except yeah, like this side kind of has the Lila, like the cool tones, but Lila just doesn't, I don't love it as much as I want to, but this one I think is like perfection. I love this price point and I love this palette. So you can show them your giant zit. This is Hector. He's really not that big. I just squeezed him a lot and now he's really swollen. I think it's because I don't wash my hair ever, and so my bangs are just making my hair super greasy. That's my theory anyway. Alright, so did any of you get this palette? I know a couple people on Twitter really wanted it. So like this is what happened. They showed like the pictures of like the top of the palette and we were all like we were all of us Natasha stans were screaming like, oh my god, what's going on? What a love palette. Oh my god, I can't breathe. And then they showed the actual palette and I was like, And then just moments later I decided this is it. This palette is it. I am being too critical. And then now that we've played with it, I would have to agree this palette is indeed it. What I do wish it had is like a hot pink. I just feel like that would really complete it. But I think it's really great for somebody who's like kind of diving into pinks and purples, just exploring with color, because they are like vibrant and colorful, but they are also pretty wearable. Yeah, a little bit more muted. Yeah. I've got to stop doing the same eye shape in every look, but I can't do a halo eye, and I don't know any other styles in that. It's a halo. I'm not capable of it. I did it in our Metropolis palette review video, and I thought I looked like the ugliest person on earth. TBH. I think halo eyes are really fun, but I think they are really hard to do. I like the one you did with the Metropolis on the IGTV thing. Oh yeah. The really like blown out one. I like blown out halos. That's probably what I'm gonna do today. Because I feel like the cut crease halos just don't look great on me, I guess. No, Rachel, don't dip into the tea. I used to be all about a halo eye, but not so much these days. It just don't be doing it for me is all. She's still up? I thought she went to bed. Trying to get Charlotte to nap right now. Clearly not going that well. We will manage. If you're not, I will get her if I need to. Anyway, this palette is also kind of similar to the Midas and Smoky Glow palette. Not entirely, but it has a similar like vibe. Yeah, it's got the vibe, which whenever those get sent out, I'm so excited to play with that because girl, I love me some pink, I love me some Midas, and I love me some Smoky Glow. Yeah. I've never tried their shadow formula though. We have some glitters that the Basic Bee collaborated with them to make, and they're just beautiful. Yeah, they're really like chunky and fun, and probably some of our most used glitters, even though we don't really use glitter almost at all. Yeah, they're probably not eye safe, but you know what? I don't care. Everybody makes a big deal about like non-eye safe glitters, and honestly, I don't see what the fuss is about. Blind yourself. I lose an eye, you know. At least it's gonna sparkle because that glitter's never gonna come off. That's my take on that anyway. The one thing I hate about like chunky glitter is that like in your creases, it can't be in your creases, otherwise it just hangs on by a thread. Yeah, like it'll start like flicking down. It's so funny. Anyway, since Valentine's Day, I'm sure I've mentioned this in a few videos by now, but I cannot stop wearing like pink eyeshadow, which is odd for me because I've never been a pink eyeshadow person. That's always been me, ever. And suddenly I'm like, oh, pink? I think one of my favorite shades in this palette is Heart. It's like the more like red color. Oh yeah, that one is beautiful. So pretty. I'm using it now because it's just lovely. And the one thing I love, like, I think Natasha mattes are good, but I don't think they're like, they're not the reason I buy Natasha palettes. But I like that they're those kind of shadows that it's really hard to build them to the point where they're patchy. Mm-hmm. Like, I know a lot of eyeshadows do that, like pressed pigment type shadows. Morphe James Charles. Norvina Volume 3. Oh, yeah, we got rid of that. Yeah, I gave it to some girl on Twitter for pretty cheap, honestly, because I was like, I don't want this in my collection. I don't like this palette. Volume 1 I would be fine with getting rid of if it didn't have the best white that I'd ever tried. Yeah, the white in there is to die for. I mean, it's a good palette, but it's not like, it's not worth $65. No, not even slightly. This one, however, I believe is. Maybe I'll just keep it with the matte pink. I think that looks kind of cute, right? I think so. You do like the silver in the inner corner with it? Yeah, we'll see what I do. Anyway, you can only take our opinion with a grain of salt because we're Natasha stans. What happens if Natasha has a scandal? What would we do then? I don't know. I feel like her scandals as a brand would be pretty minimal. Because she's not like... It's not... I think a lot of scandals come out when people do like collaborations and stuff, and I've never seen Natasha Denona do a collaboration, so... If she wants to, she can start with us. But... Natasha X Twintorials, can you imagine the power? No, I really can't. That would be incredible. Our Twitter fam better come and clutch on that collab. Y'all best be supporting. The grind never stops. I don't care if you broke, you buying it. But I love this trend of Natasha coming out with the smaller pans. I think it just makes a lot of sense. Because her eyeshadows have a ton of product in them, which is half the reason why they're so expensive. It's a stupid reason in my opinion, but... Yeah, but when you compare it to like... I mean, I haven't done like a real comparison, but like ABH doesn't have a ton of product in their shadows. What's her name? Stephanie something or other. I think her name's Stephanie. I'll link her channel below if I can find it. She doesn't post all that often, but she's done comparisons on like ColourPop shadows. When everybody was freaking out about how cheap ColourPop shadows were, she was comparing the amount of product in them to a bunch of other shadows and how it's actually more expensive. But it's like, for a lot of people that doesn't matter, because it's, for a lot of people, at least in the makeup world, you don't go through eyeshadow that often, especially if you have so many palettes. So maybe for the everyday kind of person, like my friend Katie flies through eyeshadow. She has eaten up like 2 Tartelette in Bloom palettes. She is inspiring, truly. But yeah, I don't know for everyday people if that matters, but it does kind of help you understand the price point a little bit. It's also just because the brand. But a lot of people, these palettes you can depot really easily. There's a bunch of holes in the bottom of it. I don't know. Yeah, right there. You can stick like a safety pin in there and depot it. For that reason, a lot of Natasha's shadows will come loose and fall out of the pan. But they're meant to depot for working artists. So the pans are magnetic as well. So you can either arrange your own palette in here or rearrange it or arrange another one in like a magnetic palette. And I really like that feature. It's not really everybody's thing, but because we've depotted so many palettes, and I will be depotting a couple more actually, it makes a lot of sense, especially for like project pan stuff. For me, I just love it. Yeah, and it's nice because then you can rearrange it, or you can like swap out colors from other palettes, like this one if we wanted to swap out a couple shades with like the Sunrise palette or something like that. It's really nice. Or Metropolis. Yeah. I don't know. I think it would be so hard to use up an entire palette. We're actually gonna try that, but yeah, I think we're gonna, maybe we'll film that today if we have time, but we're gonna try to finish up all the, at least the matte shades in our Be Perfect Carnival palette, the original, because we have pan in almost all of them, and I'm not going to force myself to use up like a dark blue shimmer or anything like that. I'm just not. But then we can at least have one less palette and know that we've gotten our money's worth, even though I feel that we have already. It's just, I think it'll be a fun challenge, and I don't get sick of using that palette, so. No, because What? That UTAN stuff, like all the way on my face. Oh. We hit pan on all of those before we were into project panning, so it was just because we love that palette so much. Yeah, we are going to be incorporating our project pan stuff like on our Instagram now. We have had like a highlighted story for it, but we're going to incorporate it into our feed because I just think it makes sense because it's something we like to do, so we might as well put it on Instagram. And there's a big community of project panners that would just love to follow us. Mm-hmm. I love that they have like a baby pink in here, the shade Valentine. Oh, I love it. That's what I have on my lid right now. I think that it's so pretty. Like, I love like a baby pink, like just all over the eye with like a wing. Or like, oh, with like... Didn't you do that look? Yeah. Could you imagine with like brown lashes? Or like a brown like smoky liner with it. Ooh, that would look really pretty. Yeah, I agree. That would be so nice. Alright, now we're doing concealer, which is what we do first, as most of our loving followers know. Our avid fans. So I was actually, there's this girl Lana on like Twitter and Instagram, and she was talking about how she wishes that brands would come out with like an extended range of like tinted moisturizers and like light coverage foundations. That is like my dream. Like if I were to own a brand, it would be like light coverage, like with like a good shade range, because most like tinted moisturizers don't go very deep, and if they do, they have like 2 deep shades. You know what people always say though, and it drives me nuts? They'd be like, but because it's sheer, like it can work for multiple skin tones. I'm like, well, to an extent, yeah. Like you can't just put on, you can't have like someone with really deep skin put on just a tan BB cream and think it's gonna look good. Yeah. It's not. Because it still has a tint to it, which you have to match to your skin as much as you can. It's kind of like if I were to wear her shade when I was self-tanned, or if I were to wear her shade when I was pale. That's how it's gonna look. I mean, yeah, you can get away with a shade or two because it's lighter coverage, but that don't mean black people can just be using white foundations. It just doesn't. Guys, look, I got it back. My Vichy Mineral 89. We ran out of this and we've been trying to use different things to sheer out our foundation, and nothing quite works like her. The only thing that I've been really loving is I had a sample of the e.l.f. like hemp oil or whatever, and that looks beautiful in foundations. Like absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. However, I don't know if I'm gonna buy it quite yet, like when we run out, because it's almost gone. But we had 2, didn't we? Yeah, we had 2. I ran out of one of them and I'm almost done with the other one. It's fantabulous. It really is. The only thing is it can be a little bit too greasy, like for me anyway. It is oily, which I love. You know, I love a greasy foundation, but sometimes when you're wearing things for 12+ hours a day, too much oil don't work. But I'll have the Fenty blotting sheets, so it's fine. We're getting the Fenty BoxyCharm. I'm so happy. Stoked. I thought I wasn't gonna get off the wait list, but we got off the wait list. So we're switching to Boxy Premium. I'm gonna cancel the base box. I don't know how long we'll continue doing BoxyCharm. I'm kind of annoyed with them actually, because they keep lying about what they're putting in. And this is like it's not a first time go around with this like moisturizer thing that's going on. They gave everybody like a moisturizer that they claimed was $100, and it's actually $1. Like, we actually didn't get it in our BoxyCharm, but our friend Kayla on Instagram, she sent that to us with a with the Kosas tinted face oil. And then she messaged us and was like, oh yeah, I just heard about this scandal, so proceed with caution with that moisturizer. I don't, like, from what we saw, it's not like it has like terrible ingredients. It's not like it's gonna kill you if you use it. It's just not good. Yeah, and I used it a couple times and I happened to have breakouts right after, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. So I'll probably play around with it a little bit because it's got kind of like that jelly type. My hands are so pale right now. It's kind of got that jelly consistency, like a hyaluronic acid does, almost like a water cream vibe. So it's really good for sharing out foundations, but if it be breaking you out, maybe not.
Yeah. I'm gonna build this up a little bit just because I want to. I haven't been using this foundation, so I need to try to use it a little bit more.
I'm going through sort of an inner life debate right now with concealer because I have quite a few in my collection, and I only truly like one of them, or two of them. No, three of them. Oh, but the Too Faced Born This Way and the Juvia's Place I Am Magic, and then the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate, I really don't love. So I don't hate them, so I don't know that it's worth decluttering them, but I don't know that I want to use them up either, so I might declutter them. I got a sample of the new Becca concealer, like the really light coverage one.
Gorgeous.
Oh my god, I want it so bad because it's just everything. Becca really nails it with their like sheer coverage products. They have that one foundation in like a dropper that I really want to try. It's like a water foundation or something.
Yeah.
The Aqua Luminous, I think it's called. I want it more than anything. Yeah, I saw Samantha Rabendal talk about it in a video, the concealer, and I was like, I want it. And then when I ordered some Olaplex from Sephora, that was one of the samples that I could get, and I was like, fine, we'll do that.
Fine,
I think I would have to mix it a little bit with my other concealers because I need a touch more coverage, but maybe with like the Becca Under Eye Corrector under it, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I am also looking for a good like neutral bronzer. I like the ones I have. I finished my Milani one, and I'm almost done with my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil, which I also have been really enjoying. But other than that, the bronzers I have are pretty dark and pretty like red or warm toned. Like I love the Natasha Denona tan palette, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't really work for me that well when I'm fair. It's a little intense. So I don't know if I should be getting something else. I also have like my Wet n Wild ticket to Brazil. You good? Did I blind you again?
No, I blinded. I put this down and it went. I was like, when you were talking.
I don't even know what I was saying anymore. Anyway, I'm having a problem with bronzers. That's all I have to say. You know what also that applies to?
What?
The Norvina palettes?
Yep.
I wanted those so bad because everybody on Twitter was like, these are the best ever. You guys lied.
We've come to a conclusion that,
and don't kill me here, some of y'all are lying straight out your asses because you want to stay in Norvina's good graces. I don't make the rules. I just know this is what's happening. I actually don't think that's the case. I think people are just really excited about being on PR, and they're really excited to receive these products, and so they make them work, and they don't care if it takes a little extra effort because they did not pay for those products. I think the same goes for larger influencers when they recommend a Morphe palette. Even spending $25 on a palette that I need to work to use is ridiculous. So yeah, that's my stance on that. I just think people get really excited. Well, people overhype it because, you know, Queen Norvina and all of that, but I don't think I'm gonna fully cancel ABH, but ABH is on my nerves and I'm not happy with them at the moment. So
for a lot of different reasons.
I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. Mostly for the Rich Lux situation, that bugged me a lot. But because, okay, there's a difference to me. So although I do not support Jeffree Star, but I also don't hate people that support Jeffree Star, I think that everybody has their own stance on like whether or not he's changed, and that's up to you to make that decision. Yeah, to believe that he's changed or not. But Rich Lux has completely been a racist like his entire career. So, and not only a racist like in the way that, oh, once he said the N-word 20 years ago and we canceled him for that. No, he's a racist in the way where he literally said racism is okay. He said racism isn't even bad, it's not illegal. Yeah, my man's is on some sort of foolery. Yeah. I was like, what is this, honey? But I've never watched Rich Lux, I don't think, or maybe like... I think I have seen a couple videos and I didn't really get what the hype was about. I started concealing over my eyeshadow. But buffoon I am. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna cancel ABH or if I'm just gonna... I don't think I'll be buying as much from them going forward because I don't know what to believe on products now. Yeah, I think their releases are just going downhill. Like, the more they release, the less good the quality is, aside from the Jackie Aina palette.
And the foundation, I really like the foundation.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the Alyssa Edwards palette was nice. I enjoyed that palette. I think the Riviera palette was nice. I don't use it very often. We did depot all of our ABH shadows except Jackie's palette because that one is so beautiful. I love that palette. But I also think that was all Jackie. So, you know, I'm frustrated, but it's cool. Like, I'm happy for everybody that is on ABHPR. I really am, from the bottom of my heart. And I would, like, if that was us, I'd be really grateful too. But I did see, her name's Lauren. She has vitiligo. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, okay. She has vitiligo.
Oh, I don't remember what her Twitter handle is, but
we'll link it. Yeah, I can't remember. But she was, like, adamant. She was like, the Norvina palettes suck. And I was like, wow, she must just not have flavor because everybody loves these. And then I got them, and although I do like the volume 1, I'll continue to use that one because I enjoy it. The volume 3 was a complete hard no. And volume 1 isn't anything to write home over either. Like, it's pretty, the color story is beautiful. The matte white is to die for. That's, other than that, it's just a pretty pink and purple palette.
yeah.
I mean, I like that the color combos in her Norvina palettes are kind of unique. I just hate the formula. They're like that pressed pigment type formula. And the pressed pigment type formula, like in the Alyssa Edwards palette, I love. But the pressed pigment formula in the Norvina palettes, they're like dry and they're really hard to build. Oh. I don't know what happened, man, but I'm not a fan. Nisa Pisa so delicately put, the Norvinis are just like Jeffree Star stands in the sense that if you insult Queen Norvina, or if you even insinuate that maybe one of her products isn't that good, Norvinis go to you. They stick themselves right in your business and they start getting pressed for no reason other than they have like this weird, they feel like they're friends with this influencer that doesn't know they even exist. And I think that's ridiculous. Who was it? Whitney Hendricks, I think, just did a video on like a healthy influencer, like viewer kind of relationship. And I think people like Jeffree Star fans, like adamant ones, or Norvinis, you know, like those kind of people, like if you insult their fave, like they will come for you and they will never stop. And like there's nobody that, like, if somebody says I don't like them, that I am actually hurt when people say that. That's never happened. Like I'm like, oh man, like I just got roasted on Twitter because I said that y'all slept on Spectacular, which you did. You did, and everybody's like, there was a reason, and I was like, fault. I jammed out this morning to it. I watched it last night. I lived my best life. And I think the music in that is so freaking good. Andrew, I saw you subscribe to us on YouTube. I must be tripping. Go on. Andrew, I saw that you subscribed to us on YouTube. Spectacular is not the Kids Bop version of Camp Rock. It's just not, alright? It's not.
Camp Rock is the Kids Bop version of Camp Rock.
You ever heard Break My Heart? There has never been anything sexier. Alright, here's our little looks. I went much faster than Vic, so we just cut out some crap. Here's my little pink. Here's her little purple. And yeah, this was a cute fun little video. I love this palette. Love the love palette. Yeah, I think it is so good. I love, like, there's a couple shimmers in there they're just so unique, like most Natasha shimmers. Even in normal, just true gold from Natasha, it hits different. It hits different. One of the shades from the palette, Giving, right here, this pink one, this is my favorite shade in the palette.
It's got like purple reflex.
It's got like purple reflex, and it's like, oh, it's so beautiful. That one is available in a single at Sephora as like a gift with purchase, so that's really cool because she's cute. So if you're ever interested in that, next time you place a Sephora order, go to the little gifts. Might be in there, might be, but you never know. But anyway, I think that's all from us. It's a great palette. Anything Natasha is worth the money, pretty much, if I'm being entirely honest. And anyone who's broke, I don't want to hear your argument. Sucks for you. Go buy a BH palette and shut up. Alright, anyway, just kidding. But thank you guys so much for watching. We hope to see you in the next video. Bye!